the ball. And if we could have held it at 1-0 for a while, it might have been a little bit easier. But in the end, that's one that we won't want to remember.
Yeah, it's a difficult game, isn't it, Claire? And I suppose the way that you look at it now, we've got Morecambe in the FA Cup next weekend, and then we have Fulham on Friday night in a couple of weeks' time. So I suppose there is a little gap now. Do you think maybe it was a bit of fatigue because we played a lot of football in the last 6 weeks?
Well, I think everyone's got the same excuse, haven't they, to make. Everyone's been playing a lot of football. Everyone's been under the same kind of pressures. For us, I think whenever we play against these big six, so to speak, big six, we haven't really performed, have we? And we were talking before, like it was far too easy for them to beat our press today. Second half was better, but yeah, it just didn't work, did it? I think I've seen a few times, we look to switch the ball, Chilwell's on the ball and delivering into the box. We didn't have that focal point, and I think clearly Giroud and Tammy have been saved for Morecambe, aren't they? As it looks.
It'll be obviously important when Morecambe comes around, Zach, next weekend for players to get minutes. I mean, we saw Billy Gilmore get more minutes as well again today, and when he come on, I thought he'd done really well.
Yeah, him, Cho looked really, really good. Same with Havertz, actually. He got the assist in the end, really good ball into the box. Actually thought he was pretty good. It'll be about getting the guys that haven't necessarily had minutes, because straight after Morecambe, I think it's the longest length of time we have for a while where we don't have a game. About, I think maybe six days or so, because after that it's a game every 3 days basically.
Yeah, we've got Fulham on the Friday, haven't we? So it's only a couple of days after that. But I think it's Leicester, and then if we beat Morecambe, we're in the fourth round of the FA Cup. But yeah, there's about 6 games before the end of January, and then they come stacking up thick and fast after that. Jay, we were just talking about it was a difficult game, but second half in terms of Callum Hudson-Odoi's impact, getting the goal at the end. It's been a difficult afternoon, hasn't it? But I suppose when you look at it on one hand, Frank will have learned a lot from that second half. We certainly attempted to get back into the game on numerous occasions.
They had the best chances second. I mean, I know we're trying to scratch around for positives. Yes, I suppose so. But they went 3-0 up. They're in cruise control. They should have had 2 or 3 more second half. We get consolation goal at the end. Look, what can they do? They're coming on with 3-0 down. Frank's rolling the dice. It's tough coming on a game. Sometimes it's hard to get up to speed of the game when you're winning, to get up when you come off the bench, to get up to that speed. When you're losing, you're chasing shadows. And I saw Pep when they gave the ball away, how angered he was at giving the ball away that we eventually. I mean, it's a nice goal, nice setup from Havertz and good finish from Callum. But, what can they do from the bench at 3-0 down against Man City? It's asking a lot. Look, there's a massive gap between us and them today. We got taught a lesson today, and it was painful to watch.
It was a tough afternoon. And Pat, I suppose the one thing you try and take away from it now is, as a player, do you take anything away from it, or is your primary instinct to kind of go, okay, that's gone now, it's finished, put it to bed, and start fresh? How do you look at it?
You've got to go next game, move on. Yeah, that's the only way to do it. If you spend your time worrying about it too much, certainly we need to be more of a unit in various areas. And Frank knows that himself. I mean, he worked as a team, as a team player all the time, and we have to work as a unit. We didn't do that enough. I don't think that will happen often this season where we put that sort of a performance in. And if you go and win the next game, which hopefully we'll get through in the Cup, I think we've got a run of games after that, which we can look forward to a bit. And that's what everyone will do. There's a number of players. I mentioned early on, I suspect Billy Gilmore will be a starter by the end of the season. Can I change that now? Next week. It will be that when you have to have a change, something like that happens and other people get an opportunity. And hey, the players have learned a lot. Frank's learned a lot from that one today as well. And, you will not take the positives. What you'll do is you find out the negatives and try and get rid of them.
Claire, like Pat was saying there, Billy Gilmore coming on. I mean, you would look at him potentially. Well, you'd probably assume that he will start next week against Morecambe, especially considering that for Fulham now, N'Golo Kanté obviously picked up a yellow card, so that means he's suspended for the Fulham game. So you look at that, maybe a run of fixtures. You then got Leicester in the fourth round tie of the FA Cup if we are to get through against Morecambe. So there's a good opportunity, especially in that midfield berth for someone, Billy Gilmour, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, potentially, obviously the three that didn't start today, for one or all of them to really make an impact over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, football unpredictable, isn't it? You never know when your chance is going to come, and it's about being ready. Billy Gilmour, as Pat has said, I think is probably going to come sooner than we were all expecting, and rightfully so. He's an outstanding player. He's played a couple of games this season so far, and maybe he can be someone who kind of kickstarts our new year almost. But then also we've got another few players, young players coming through who could get more opportunities. Morecambe, it's a great opportunity for some of these players to get that exposure. But it's the most important thing is getting results. I don't care who plays, we just need a win.
No, completely right. And Zach, there is that, isn't there? I mean, think back to the Grimsby game at the start of last season when we started 6 or 7 academy graduates, and now you look at the side is kind of littered with them and players that have come through the academy. So next week against Morecambe, it's a fresh take, but it's an opportunity for, like Claire said, that the players that are performing well in the academy, the 23s and the 18s and in the PL2, to potentially get an opportunity to play football, and then you never know, then the chance is theirs if they want it.
Yeah, I reckon Lewis Bate will probably feature, Tino Andrid will probably feature, but then I think you'll also see a few players who maybe have been on the bench a bit more recently, like Kai Havertz, who need maybe a bit more of a confidence boost for if we do win, also featuring. So I think it might be a bit of a mixture of both sides. Maybe Jorginho for minutes, people that haven't had minutes. So I think it'll be fun to look forward to see the future.
Definitely, mate. Well, don't forget, all the post-match interviews will be up on the Fifth Stand shortly. Also coming up, you can see highlights of tonight's match. There is a Best of 2020 series, which is really worth a watch. It includes 2020 moments, best goals, skills, and of course, everyone's favourites, some bloopers in there as well. We do switch our focus to the FA Cup next Sunday. Join us on Matchday Live from 12:20 when Morecambe, who are going well in League 2, will be our opponents. It's a tough afternoon for us to take at the Bridge, but as always, we go again. Thank you for watching.